Hey guys, welcome to the Footcast. This is the podcast where we don't talk about feet, we talk about football. And I'm joined again with my co-host Wyatt Kidwell.
Hey
And
guys.
we have a few new topics today. So let's jump right in. Number one, we have Tyreek Hill. Go ahead.
Before we get to Tyreek Hill, I just have to say something real quick. That hey guys is for Eric, my boy Eric. So that was for him because I know he appreciates that. So that's going to be a thing that we do. So anyway, Tyreek Hill. Wow, I was not expecting this. I was on lunch break. Man, so much happening in the NFL this year. It's crazy. It is crazy. Like, oh my word. So, if you haven't heard, he was traded, which is weird. The last person I thought would ever be traded. But I do see why he was traded. And we'll get to that here in a second. But the Dolphins signed Tyreek Hill to a 3-year, $75 million extension. That's part of the trade from the Chiefs. So now he's under contract through the 2025 season at $23.8 million per year overall. By most metrics, the NFL newest, highest paid NFL receiver. One of the best receivers. I don't think we have to really debate on that. He's one of the best, one of the fastest. But he's getting old. He's getting a little old. I mean, yeah, he's in his prime right now. But I don't know if I would agree with trading him at this stage of the game. Obviously, the Chiefs got Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't really like that, to be honest. Tyreek Hill's 28 years old, 5'10", 185, fastest receiver. I would say fastest receiver in the league, or at least one of them the fastest. I don't really. So I say I understand, but yeah, I don't understand because he's coming off a decent year, 9 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. Year before, 1,200 yards again, 15 touchdowns. I don't know. I kind of get it. I mean, he's not old. He's not that old, right? He's just not. He's, like I said, 28 years old. But I guess it kind of being safe, I guess. That might be what they're doing. Because, I mean, you see a tendency of where as the receivers get a little bit older, they tend to fall off a little bit. Not saying he's going to fall off. I mean, he's a great receiver. But I don't know. I wouldn't. I would have kept Tyreek Hill over Juju Smith-Schuster. That's just me. I don't know Juju's stats, but I know he kind of had an off year, and in the past 2 years. But I know, I mean, Big Ben was injured the previous year. But $75 million, 3-year. I don't know. I see it, but I don't see it really. I mean, if he was a little bit older, if he was about 2 years older, I'd be like, sure. But right now, honestly, I don't know why. I don't think they really had that bad of a cap. I don't think. So technically, they probably could have kept Tyreek and Juju, which I thought was.
I don't think they could have.
They couldn't? Okay, so.
I mean, they wouldn't have traded him if they could.
Yeah. So that's what went through my head. I was like, wait, why are we trading him? But.
So I would have definitely taken Tyreek over Juju, but they couldn't keep Tyreek either way because he wants to be the highest paid receiver in the league. Gotcha. And Christian Kirk down to the Jaguars completely threw off everything with receivers. You see with Devontae Adams going to the Raiders, which we talked about last time. Now you see Tyreek Hill going to the Dolphins. I don't know if we could say that the Dolphins robbed the Chiefs.
I don't think you could say that.
Tyreek Hill's 28. That's actually, he's entering his prime years. Like usually 28 is when receivers start to take that next step, and then they fall off at like 30, 31 usually. But Tyreek Hill has been injured a little bit the past couple years. But I don't know. I mean, I think he's going to be really good with the Dolphins. The biggest question now is just Tua. Like, can he be that quarterback? Because now they're giving him weapons, which he hasn't had the past couple years. But now they're giving him weapons. So this year is his make it or break it year, and I think this year could really determine the rest of his career. So the Dolphins have had a really good offseason, just improving that offense. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good trade for both sides because the Chiefs get a lot of picks, and then the Dolphins get that number one receiver that they've been wanting and needing for Tua.
Yeah, they definitely got a lot of picks, so I think they can improve their, defense and offensive line. I think that's probably be one of the keys, just protecting Patty. I don't know if they kept most of their defensive players, but yeah, they got like 5 draft picks. I don't know. I know there's like 2 or 3 of them is this year, and then a couple for next year. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I feel like this is like one of the even kill trades so far of the offseason. I mean, it kind of shocked me, but at the same time, it wasn't like the Russell Wilson trade where they got nobody for somebody. So I think this was a decent trade. I just hated that. I think we talked a little bit about it. The first episode was, if I was in their shoes, I'd just take bare minimum, just like to be able just to live, basically. I mean, live a little bit comfortably. I mean, get it? They're entertainers. They have a job to do. They have to support their families and yada yada yada. But like,
I think we can.
Go ahead.
I think we can blame this on Patrick Mahomes. Like, if I was him, before they traded Tyreek, I would have taken a massive pay cut just to keep him, because you don't need that much money.
Yeah, no.
You don't.
And go to the point of Tom Brady. I mean, he took so many pay cuts, and he has 7 rings. Like, the dude didn't get paid like hardly anything. Like, he got. I think I one time looked up the stats, and he got paid just a little bit over a rookie quarterback. Like, when a rookie comes in, he got maybe a couple more thousand than that.
Yeah.
He got paid so underpaid. But at the end, I mean, he's the greatest of all time. He has, as no one can compete with 7 rings, and I dare say 8 rings, just saying. But, I mean, I'm throwing in the Cowboys because. But DeMarcus Lawrence actually took a lot. He took a reconstruction like a second time this offseason just so we could sign Randy Gregory, but then having Randy Gregory spit us in the face. But that's what a leader does. In order to keep his team intact and get Super Bowls, is, I think, to take a pay cut. I mean, so the team can bring in more players, because at the end of the day, if you don't get a ring, you're just wasting talent. I mean, this guy was with Cal. Any organization out of all 32 teams, or I should say 31 team, because at the end of the day, there's one Super Bowl winner per year, and the other teams are wasting talent. So,
yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see. I think the Dolphins really just needed some receivers for Tua, because so far he hasn't been great, but he also hasn't had anyone to throw to. I don't know. I think this trade could work out for both sides, and if there's one side that it doesn't work out for, I think it could be the Dolphins, honestly. I mean, Tyreek Hill is like the fastest receiver in the league, and he could change that offense, but also he could be injured a lot.
Yeah, and they gave away a lot of draft picks, 5 draft picks, so.
Yeah, I mean, it was only like 1 first rounder, a third rounder.
But I mean, still,
But
it's players that could be dynamic, so.
Yeah.
We'll see, I guess.
We'll see, yeah. But let's jump into our next topic. We have the Los Angeles Rams. So far, I think they've only really got Allen Robinson, but they won the Super Bowl last year, and they went from Odell, who is old and kind of injury prone, to Allen Robinson, who's a great receiver. He just needed to change his scenery from the Bears, is what I think.
Yeah, I was reading some reports about them stepping up at left guard and at corner, but honestly, I mean, they haven't done a whole lot, but I think they kind of, I wouldn't say won the offseason, but they're just picking up where they left off. And no doubt, I have them, I'm going to wait to do like a little bit of Super Bowl predictions until like after draft and after free agency is done. But they're definitely going to go deep into the playoffs. And I mean, just with this roster alone, like, I mean, Matt Stafford's already proven that he's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, in which he is a Super Bowl champion. But I can see Brady and the Rams going up against each other again. But I mean, if they keep this team intact, they're going to be a dynasty and get several rings. If they can keep this team intact, and if some players take some pay cuts, not pull a Patty Mahomes, not pull a Tyreek Hill, not do any of that baloney, but keep this team intact, and I mean, they can go far. I mean, with, like you said, Allen Robinson, great receiver, and leaving OBJ. I mean, OBJ was good back in the day. He's still pretty decent, but injury prone. So if they can keep this team intact, maybe improve on it a little bit in the draft, hey, I see a dynasty forming.
Yeah, and pretty sure a couple of days ago, the Rams just re-signed Matthew Stafford to a $160 million deal. Do you know how many years were in that?
I think it was a 3-year.
Oh. Huh. So he's only 34. So that'll take him until he's 37. And then you look at like Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson and Tom Brady, those older quarterbacks who are like approaching 40. Well, I'm not sure about Russell Wilson, but Matthew Stafford, he's only 34. So they could at least get another 2 or 3 good years out of him, especially with a good team around him.
Yeah.
So
they put him in. I'm gonna sound like a broken record. They put him in an environment to win.
Yeah, which he didn't have that in Detroit. And I like Matthew Stafford because he's from Georgia, and you know, national champion.
And honestly, but honestly, before he went to the Rams, I was talking to my dad and was like, who the heck is Matt Stafford? Like, you never see the Lions on TV because they're garbage. So I was like, well, who's this cat? Like, who's this? So yeah, no, you put them in an environment when they get a Super Bowl. And I think that's any quarterback really. I mean, there might be some exceptions, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and then also with the Rams, there's been rumors the past couple of days about them signing Bobby Wagner. Which I think that would be a really good fit with the Rams.
So. It would be, and it would help their defense tremendously. I mean, they already have a pretty good defense. I'm kind of salty about it because I want the Cowboys to get him. But if Bobby Wagner goes to the Rams, and if they get another ring this year, I'd be happy because he's from Utah State and he's like our lone person in the NFL right now. Like, but I would support Bobby Wagner to the Rams. I definitely would.
Yeah, I mean, I would too. I like the Rams. If they win the Super Bowl again this year, I doubt that I will like them still. But I don't know. Just I like Matthew Stafford a lot. So
yeah, he's a good quarterback. I like his style too. He's not like the ones that just run and gun. Like, oh, I just see a hole here. Let's run here. Like, but he actually lets the play develop and he gets big yards and touchdowns.
Yeah, no one's talking about this, but he pushed 2 receivers to 2 of the greatest seasons by receivers.
Yeah.
With Calvin Johnson in 2012, somewhere around there. That sounds about right. And then with Cooper Kupp this year.
Yeah, they had tremendous chemistry. I think they like worked out and went on vacation together and they built a chemistry.
Yeah.
Ow.
And no one's talking about that either. Like Matthew Stafford was the quarterback for both those receivers. So
phenomenal.
Yeah, and who knows what's going to happen with Allen Robinson this year. Yeah. They traded Robert Woods, so he will be a second option, most likely. So I think that could be really good. But let's go with our last topic to the next step for the Atlanta Falcons. So they traded away Matt Ryan, who was their franchise quarterback since 2009, 2008.
Yes, he's been there
and
for a
he
while.
won MVP 6 years ago now, 2016, and then he led them to the Super Bowl that same year. But their whole roster is kind of like dismantled. The only good player that they have really is AJ Terrell. And I mean, there's a couple more. There's Deion Jones, the linebacker. There's Calvin Ridley, who's suspended the whole year. So, but AJ Terrell is like a better corner in the league. He's just not very flashy. But yeah, they have a couple really good players, and really young players. So I think if they could just right now, I think instead of getting their franchise quarterback this year, I think they need to start building their receivers and their offensive line. They already have Kyle Pitts. But you see what the Chiefs did with building their offensive line and just the team around the quarterback and then drafting their franchise quarterback. I think that's what the Falcons need to do to have success.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if there's any decent offensive linemen out there right now in free agency. They probably got all taken up, but I think you need to sign some some offensive linemen, and then kind of what you said in the draft, get some good receivers, because right now their quarterback, I think he's QB number 1 is Marcus Mariota. They just signed him, and the guy hasn't played since really 2019. I mean, last year he had 4 yards. The year before he played he had 226 yards. He played one game, or maybe a couple snaps in the past 2 years. So definitely probably not your franchise quarterback. Probably not. Kind of just filling in the gap right now. But definitely drafting your receivers, getting the offensive line, and surround your team around the quarterback. Because, I mean, you scout and be like, oh, this guy will fit perfect with Kyle Pitts and fill in the blank. But this guy won't. So it's better than drafting a quarterback and then be like, oh, let's pick players now and get receivers now. Because then he's just going to be trash. The quarterback's not going to have anybody to throw to. Even though he's a really good quarterback, he's not going to have anyone there. And then people give up hope. Kind of what you said last show, where teams just give up on players. And we've seen that happen a lot. But the problem is that they got their quarterback and then surrounded them. No, what you need to do is get all your players before you get your quarterback and surround them. So yeah, definitely I wouldn't, if I was a Falcons fan, I wouldn't be going out and buying me a Mariota jersey right now, because he's probably going to be shipped out next year or the year after. Or just cut, one of the two, or they might keep him and have him as backup or something. But definitely surround your future quarterback with good receivers, offensive line. Keep Kyle Pitts. Don't be stupid. Don't go shipping him off. He's probably going to be a great tight end, a really, really good tight end here in the next couple of years. So don't go ship him off. Don't do it. Just surround your future quarterback. Just pretend he's there in the pocket right now, even though you see Marcus Mariota throwing 5 interceptions in the game. Just imagine that your quarterback's there and surround that quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the Chiefs, when they had Alex Smith, he was like that bridge. I mean, he was good, but he was like that bridge quarterback between just garbage and Mahomes. So, and while he was the quarterback, they drafted Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. They drafted a decent offensive line that has fallen apart in the past couple years, and they drafted a good, solid defense. So I think that's what the Falcons need to do.
See, I mean, even though they didn't have a great offensive line, the Chiefs, right? You see what they did, though, is they drafted a quarterback that can run. So within this year here, if you pick up some offensive linemen, or sign some, or draft some, whatever you do, and you find out this year, wow, it is trash. It's complete trash. Mariota's getting killed. And you already know that some offensive linemen aren't going to be available in free agency or in the draft for next year. What are you going to do if you're going to draft your franchise quarterback in next year's draft? What are you going to do? You're going to draft a quarterback that can scramble, that can throw on the run. So, I mean, that's what they did. So, I mean, their offensive line's not been that bad. It's kind of fallen off. But you see what they did is they drafted a quarterback that can improvise.
Yeah, and
there's so many factors here.
They also had a receiver that could run 80 yards in 3 seconds.
Yeah. So just surround him, put him in an environment to win, and he'll succeed. He'll definitely succeed.
Yeah, And then also, there's a lot to do with the coach too, because
I don't even know who's there anymore.
Arthur Smith. I think he was the Chargers defensive coordinator, and he actually wasn't that bad last year. I don't think. I could be wrong though, but I don't know. I mean, Marcus Mariota might be good, but I kind of doubt it.
I think he's going to be shipped out. I mean, at 28 years old, he'd be a decent backup, maybe.
Yeah, he'd probably be good. Yeah, he'd probably be a good backup, but
just like last, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes this year. I'm kind of excited because there's a lot of new teams.
Yeah, it's like just things changing.
Yeah. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Footcast. Thank you all for joining us, and until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.